I'm Tim. Welcome to Tim's Time. Most of you who watch Tim's Time every week, you tune in and check it out usually on Monday, most of you, and most of you on Monday morning. What you don't know is that I film it at a pretty consistent time the week before. Today, however, I'm early in the morning on Sunday morning. It's Homecoming Sunday for our church family, and so it's a big day for us, and folks will be in, and we'll have the traditional meal. Guest speaker will come in. One of my close friends will bring the message, and it'll just be a good day, which leads me to this little cup. This little cup sits in my little coffee venue in my study, and I pull this cup up and fill it with water, dump it in my Keurig, and make my K-cups. I know, by the way, that I could just use my coffee cup and save this step. In fact, when I was working on nuclear missiles back in the day, they taught us any mechanical steps, not safety steps or electronic steps, but any mechanical steps that you can use, that you can skip to shorten or condense the maintenance and get everything done, then you're free to skip it. You don't want to do unnecessary work. I know that it's not necessarily necessary that I use this little cup, pour water in it, pour it in the Keurig, then put my coffee cup underneath the Keurig and put my K-cup in and brew the coffee. It's not really essential. But let me tell you about this little cup. This little cup was my mom's cup. It sat in the canister for sugar, and for as long as I can remember, decades, years, Mama would use this to get her sugar out and stir up the sweet tea. And so when we were dividing things up after she passed away, we were all kind of drawn to different things for different reasons. Nobody else was attracted to this little old plastic cup, but I was. And even though it's kind of unnecessary, and I don't particularly think about it every time I use it, I find myself occasionally stopping, pausing, thinking about this cup, remembering my mom, remembering my dad, being thankful for my family, and just celebrating the real important things in life. And so as long as it holds out, and as long as I drink coffee, I will probably use this little cup, and it'll sit in my study. What in the world does that have to do with you? Well, first of all, it has to do with homecoming. Homecoming's not necessarily necessary. We don't have to have a dinner on the grounds, and we don't have to have a guest speaker in. Homecoming reminds us, though, we look back, we think about how God's blessed us. We recognize that for over 100 years, there's been a group of folks called out, which is what church means, ecclesia, called out together in this church family called Central Baptist Church. And we haven't always been perfect, and everything hasn't always been hunky-dory, as someone in my family used to say, but nevertheless, we've always been Central Baptist. We've always been called out and called to go, and we've always been under the lordship of Jesus Christ. And that's what today is about. Now, what does that have to do with you? Just this. If you're going to really become all that you need to be, and everything the Lord intends for you, you need others around you. And sometimes when you have others around you, things aren't necessarily hunky-dory, and things aren't always clean. But you need them, because God enriches our lives through relationship. And so this cup is really a reminder of relationship. Homecoming is a reminder of relationship. Jesus is a reminder of the relationship I now have with my Heavenly Father. And I want you to be reminded today of relationship. And so as you face into your week and as you kneel to pray, why don't you just give God thanks for those that He's used to enrich your life. Have a great prayer time and a fantastic week. God bless.